So tonight, dear beloved viewers, or in this case, viewer, ow, I'm going to do some more work on the ancient Nordic helmet, which is a commission for Logan over there in the UK. It needs the scroll work put on it. Bootyliciousness, how you doing? Ah, that's in my eyebrow. I have rigid collegian in my eyebrow. So yes, needs the scroll work done on it. And it also needs all of the pitted surface bit done all over it, which I'll use. Did you remember to check the shipping before the commission? Yes, I did. I actually took him through the shipping website, gave him the dimensions of what the product was going to be, what the weight was going to be, and walked him through it before we committed. And I even took him to the UK VAT calculator. I did a quiz tonight, a Harry Potter themed quiz, Booty, and I had Harry's scar with rigid collegian up there. I'm just taking it off, and I had some in my eyebrow, and yeah. So it's gone now. Right, so the helmet is this one. Yeah. Oh, ha 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 ha, thank you. Look at that behind you. Not that, or that.
Oh. Thought they could see me.
So it needs a bit of shaping so that it doesn't stick out like that, so it sticks more like this. I've rounded off the tips of the horns and rounded out the eyes because they were very angular with the peppercura file. What I want to do is run the stone bit around all the edges and soften the edges off. I want to put the scroll work on the top that goes down the back, and then I'm going to hit it with the stone bit on the Dremel all over the entire surface of the helmet, not the horns. I'm also going to put some studs up along these lines, dong dong dong, and a band around the horns, and then studs around that band. So let's put that there. Did I see the picture that you tagged me in on Facebook? When did you do that, mate? How frequently? How recently, I should say? I probably did, but I don't remember, so feel free to throw it up, a link to it in chat so I can revisit it. Okay, now, reference image is in this folder over here. Commissions. Grave, Bjorn, Highlander, Iron Spawn, Nordic Helmet. Oh shit, I haven't transferred any of the photos to it.
Good job.
You bite your bum. Rightio. So this is the reference image, which is the file lifted out of the game with the transparent background. So as you can see, there's a row of studs to go up those cheekbones. You can see them in the background. There's a row of studs that go up that line there too. A band around the bottom of the horns and a row of studs on those, and that scroll work on the helmet as well. The horns have the corrugated segments in them. So there's a little bit of work to be done to it, and the whole surface I'm going to use the rounded Dremel bit, stone bit, to add those pock marks, which is the trick that I picked up from Bill and Brittany over there on Punish Props. Okay. There's that picture. Let's take a gander at that. Sorry, this content is not available at the moment. The link you have followed may have expired, or the page may only be visible to an audience that you aren't in. It doesn't like me, Yons. Okay. What the tits? Yeah, you got it. You tagged me in it. Well, dude, I'm just telling you what it's telling me. It doesn't like me. I'll give it another bash of the button and see what happens, but nope, doesn't like me. Same shit. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. See, I go over here, I click the button, and I get that. So no. So sorry. Don't know why it doesn't like me, but it doesn't like me. Apparently I'm not likable. Okay, so I got to shape it and bring it in like that. It very much wants to stick out like that. So we need to convince it to do what we bloody told it to. Now here's a bit of a laugh. You know the axe that I sent to New Mexico that they lost? That they refunded me the postage and a lousy $40 worth of uninsured goods. Yeah, it arrived. He got it. After they refunded me, of course. So I may need to give them a refund of their refund. But here's the thing. When I first contacted him to let him know that he won, he thought it was a bit of a scam, and it took a little bit of convincing to let him know that he'd actually won. And obviously the lack of it arrival and stuff lowered my credibility in his eyes. So much so that when the tracking told me that he'd received it, I jumped on to let him know. Went, hey mate, I just got the notification that you got the axe yesterday. Do you like it? What condition did it arrive in? I'd love a photo of it in its new home if you'd be so kind. I guess I have to give the post office back their refund. He gave me a 3-word answer. Yeah, I did. So, I don't know what to make of that. He doesn't seem to be as enthusiastic about winning the thing and getting it. Well, they actually told me they're going to insure it by $50, and then they only paid $40. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's got it. I got a refund. It's all good. I'm not going to poke the bear or anything like that. I just thought he'd be a little more excited about actually having it. So I feel a little... He's taken the buzz. It's gone. There is no buzz, which is a shame. But it does mean that I can cross out that page in my build book, doesn't it? So I've got to do that. I've done that, it's got to be collected. I've done that. We're working on Logan's helmet and maybe shield later. Scott wants the Deathstroke machetes. Justin in the USA, Nordic War Axe 1K winner. He's gone. Which is why you'd add some caveats to the lottery. Well, people are saying now, next time I run a competition like that, to actually have it as like a poll or a comment that you must comment on to be in the draw. So not just followers or viewers or whatever. You have to be a follower and you have to comment on the stream. Alicia wants Lagatha's shield made for her. So I got a few things that I still got in the pot. Manually enter. Yeah. Well, it was my first competition. Well, actually, no, I lied. My second. My first was the copy of my Nordic helmet for 500, and then I did 1,000, and I think I'm just over 1,200 at the moment, so it'll be a while before I need to worry about another one. I may do something for subscribers later on. What's it say here? Page. Currently, I have, according to the Facebooking, on my Tyrannus Facebooking page. Tick, 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 tick. Slow as a wet freaking week. Wow, it really is slow. Come on, just refresh the freaking page. It's telling me I've got 1,216 likes and 1,227 follows. So, before I hit the next threshold worthy of a prize, I've got quite a while, so I'm not stressing. Shut Facebook down so it doesn't turn on my banner. Tim Tams! Set up... Yeah, but I don't want them... I don't want to make it like... I don't want it to seem like you're buying a prize. So yeah, manually enter. Tick a box that you comply, or put your name under a particular thread or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I get tons of time to work it out. Tons of time. Yep, send me a packet of Tim Tams to be in the drawer. That sort of shit. Yeah. Yes, now beauty. Look at this. Horns. Good thing it's not a Viking helmet, eh? Because that would just... That'd piss you off no end, wouldn't it? One free entry and stream points for extra entries. And what the fuck is a stream point? How do I even worry about that? What a horny bugger. It is indeed. So, like I said, I've... Jesus Christ, I'm getting dropped frame rates. It might have been from doing that crap in the background. I've softened the tips of the horns. I've rounded out the eyes. And I put the stone bit on the Dremel and soften all of these lines a bit. Nightbot can set those up. Cool. Like I said, I'll worry about it later. Like I said, I'm miles away from the next threshold that requires me, or that I require, before looking at running another comp. Besides, I can't fucking afford the postage at the moment. Sure, I'm going to put the little stone bit in the Dremel. Or at least this particular stone bit in the Dremel. And use it to soften all these hard, sharp lines. Then I'm going to draw out the design for the scroll work. And I'm going to stick the 2mm foam on to make that distinctive scroll. Where are my Dremel bits, by the way? I think I have... I guess I don't. Oh, wait a minute. Click, click. It may not be a Dremel bit. It may be for the other. Nope, that doesn't look like it's in there either. It's my old power tool. Like a cheap Ozito before I saw the quality of the tool had a direct effect on the quality of the product. I thought I had one of those white ball stone bits in there, but I don't. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at the moment. Okay, so let's get things happening. Let's throw some background music in there from Dark. Bronze Dragon, how are you, dude? So yes, that's Dark Energy's playlist, which always starts off with his Dark and Furry theme. A show I like, so I don't mind promoting that at all. Okay. How am I? I'm doing good, mate. I've got a few commissions on the books. So many flakes of stuff. Ah, the Song of Crafting Nation. How are you, Neo? Thanks for popping in tonight. Oh, Captain Diego. How are you? All right, Aussie. Yep, that's me. Just south of Perth. I'm gonna grill some sausages. You go do that, dude. Okay, Bronze. In answer to your question, man, I saw my kid sister's children, so my nieces and nephew. We had them for a few hours at one of the indoor fun parks, which is our monthly meeting place when it's raining. When it's not raining, we meet in Gun Park on the foreshore. My parents, however, didn't come down. My dad had sepsis pneumonia over Christmas. He's in his 80s, and it scarred his lungs. So at the moment, he can't sleep laying down. He has to sleep sitting up with an oxygen tank on. So he didn't come down this weekend. So I'm not really happy about that. His health is obviously not the best, and at his age, that's not the kind of thing that I'd like to know. So, yeah. But thank you very much for asking. Had a fun time with the kids, but I didn't get to see my parents. So, yeah. That needs to be ranked up, mate. Nolan, good evening to you too. Whoa! Hope it gets better. I understand what you're going through because my dad became ill after falling down the stairs and sadly passed away. I hope he pulls through, but he's been sick since Christmas. So, at Christmas time when he was sick, we were asked who the next of kin was. It was that bad. And when we confirmed that it was my mum, the hospital said that that probably wouldn't do considering my mum's age and health. She has stage 2 Parkinson's and chronic arthritis. So now I have both power of attorney and power of guardianship over my parents. You know what? I'm going to turn the Bing. Well, good evening, fellow creatives. Travis Cosplay back again. Had a little bit of a hiatus. Been busy getting ready for conventions, etc. So, G'day, Bronze. Do you like the intro? Do you? Yeah, it was done by one of the followers here. They kindly did that for me and sent it through to me one night. So, yeah, I've been using that. That background music's a little bit loud for me, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Where's my desktop audio? Why isn't that? There we go. I want a bit of that playing in the background of the video for you guys. Okay, so I'm working on the Nordic helmet for the commission that has to go off to the UK. It's the ancient Nordic helmet from Skyrim, so I got a fair bit to do on that tonight. Hello, hi Elf, what you doing?
Standing.
You don't look like you're puffed that you did a lot at the gym tonight. You didn't go for long.
My key wouldn't work, so I couldn't get in.
Oh.
I have to go in tomorrow and figure out why I can't get in.
You will. Looks good. No worries. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to change the camera over and I'm going to start working on that. I've got my cup of tea. I've got my bickies. Not Tim Tams. Okay, so I got a reference image here that I just need to put up in the background that I'm going to refer back to a fair bit. So where did I put that? Here in Cosplay under commissions. Nordic helmet. Okay. This is the screen. Boink. That's the reference image that I'm using to build that helmet, and at the moment I'm at the stage where I'm going to put these studs in, and there are definitely 6 studs down the 2 face plates. Guys, please.
Go to bed.
I'm streaming, thank you. I am streaming, thank you. Wow. Okay, so there's at least 6 studs down each side of the face, so I need to cut out 12 there. And I think looking at the helmet, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's probably about 12 studs around each of the bands that holds the horns in too. So 12 is 24. We're looking at about 36 little studs to go on the helmet. Yummy! So I've got lots of bits of scrap foam here. Let's kick back out of the reference image back to the stream so I can see what I'm doing while I'm talking to you guys. So I've got my trusty aluminium pipe to cut circles out of the foam with. I think 2mm foam should work well. I've got 5mm foam there, but I think it's going to be too thick. I'm not sure about the size, so I'm just going to punch a couple out so it's piece of scrap aluminium pipe that I had laying around from the place, and I've just sharpened up the edge with a Dremel and some sandpaper. So I think that size is not too bad. They go up there. So there's 6 from here down. And there's probably about 12 around these bands here, like I said. And I think those studs are about the right size for that. Now I'm also going to undercut the horns off underneath these bands, so when I glue them back on again, the glue line will be hidden inside the band. So I'm going to cut the horn off, at least this is what I'm thinking, so that I can accurately put the texture in on the horns. The helmet also needs to be covered in pockmark texture, but the horns need to have layers put into them. So I'm thinking about cutting them off. Okay, so 36 of these little beggars. This will be fun. Cute. It's a lot easier doing it this way than cutting the things out with a pair of scissors or a craft knife and attempting to try and get perfect circles. Right. So Bronze, what have you been working on lately? Anything specific? Got any progress photos there that you'd like to pop up? Oops. Well, that's interesting. I see your comment up here on the screen, but not over on the left in the big writing. It's more accurate, yeah. Been practicing with the foam and doing braces. Do I have Gorilla Glue? I've heard of it. I'm not sure whether we have it over here. I use a contact adhesive, and it's in this blinking glue pot. Now, I use Sticker, which is the brand, S-I-K-A, Sika, contact adhesive, because we don't get barge here. So why do you ask about Gorilla Glue, mate? Because the braces I want to do will have a lot of little curves. Okay. And the advantage of using the Gorilla Glue... Oh, hang on, that's 2 comments. Borgie, sorry, I didn't notice that, Borgie. I just saw both in yellow. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to refresh that screen in the background because I'm not getting all the chat on the big screen. I'm only getting it on the little screen. Kangaroo icon for the win! G'day Shogun Props, how are ya? Please tell me you guys are not streaming in there.
No. Unless Kim is.
There's something terribly wrong with my Twitch stream at the moment. Oh, shite. It just shut itself down. Weekend's been good, buddy. I got an issue now. Stay with me. I don't know what's going on. Gorilla Glue is not for attaching foam. You coat your horns with it and it foams up and can be sanded back to give a realistic bone texture. Well, thanks for sharing that. I don't know what's going on here. Hang on. I'm going to have to reboot my OBJ as well now. Reconnection successful. There it is. Okay. I think we're back up. Sorry about that, gang. Shared internet access in the house at the moment, and everybody else is doing their thing, which means my frames per second has gone right out the fucking window. 21 dropped frame rates. I think we're putting too much drain on the internet at the moment. G'day Crims, how are you, mate? You play a Khajiit mage. Cool bananas. Well, I haven't had the opportunity to get into my game recently. Not for the last week or so. I've been power leveling a character in WoW, which is where all my gaming time has been going. And then I panelled at a cosplay competition, a cosplay conference on the weekend. You think you should make a Khajiit mage costume? Go for it. I reckon that would be awesome. Well, that's 11. I've almost got enough to do the front panels. Oops. $12, okay. Let's see how that goes proportionally on the front of the helmet. So what have we all been working on anyway? Keeping yourselves busy while I've been not streaming as regularly as I normally do and should do. Now that the convention is over and done with, I've got to get straight back into getting the rest of these commissions taken care of, so I'll be streaming back at my regular frequency. So there's 6 studs down one side. Going to be a long run until you get it done. Give yourself 11 months. Well, the Nordic carved armour took me 9 months, 140 hours, but I did little bits by little bits. Excuse me while I snack. I just got in from work, so. What's the Tim Tam attack power today? There's no Tim Tams today. It's off grocery week, mate. Can only buy Tim Tams on pay week. So I've got some crackery things in the cupboard there that I've chowing away on today. Okay, I think they need to be moved a little bit away from the margin. The seam, I should say. Margin. The background music still playing? Is right, so that'll be the studs up the front there. I think that works. Sometimes you can hunt the tax devil too. Yes, indeed. What was that reference image of mine? I actually think, looking at the reference image, guys, let's put that back on the screen for you, that my studs may be a little too big. I don't have They might be a bit big compared to the reference image. I might try smaller ones and see what happens. Sometimes you can hunt that Tassie devil too. Okay, right. Eventually we got there. There we are. Trim these puppies down to a smaller size. Let's see how we go. And no, I don't like that. They're really damn small. Got nothing in the middle either. So ditch that. Go back in there. Replace that one that I just screwed up. Bone texture. Thanks, Borgie. Ah, yes, I do recall seeing that, mate. I think I actually give you a like on that. You just ate 2 Tim Tams. 2? It's a bit slack. You want to go slow, are you? I wonder if trimming them down just a little with a pair of scissors might be the way to go. You make Tim Tams last a week? God damn. That's an amazing amount of self-control that I do not have. I want to know why there's so much week left at the end of the Tim Tams. Thank you. Good afternoon. Or good evening. It's 10:05 over here. Nolan Creative, hello. Good evening to you, my friend. I think trimming off the edges and making them look a little haphazard is going to solve the problem about size. You thought you might lurk while you're at work? No probs. Lurk away. Yeah, the background music's definitely stopped, doesn't it? So what I'm doing is I'm making the studs less round, make them more hexagonal, which will make them look a less machine-made, and it'll reduce the size a little bit, because like I said, I think those ones are too big compared to the reference image, and they're too pretty, too uniform. So this should fix that issue. And I'm going to try a new material, a new product for sealing the gaps. Well, new for me. I normally use Sully's No More Gaps, which is an acrylic caulking material for bathrooms. It's not sandable, it's rubber. which means once it dries, it pretty much peels up when you sand it. You managed to help out another cosplayer recently. You're printing some custom Chicago pins for his costume. Pretty cool. You need to figure out this charging luck. Yes, yes you do. Well, this one is for a client in the UK, and I'm charging them 150 Australian dollars, which works out to be £90. And unfortunately, I think I've already gone through the whole debacle of freight and import duty and stuff with you guys, but by the time he pays freight, which is £110, and import duty, which is another £48, this is going to end up costing him £250 or 400 Australian dollars, which is fucking ridiculous. Interested in gap sealing materials. I like it when my gaps are sealed. Oh, she's a lady, isn't she? So refined and cultured and sophisticated. How you going, eh? Okay, so I think this side looks better than that side, than the uniform machined around pellets. She's sophisticated. Okay. I got a little Aldi store down the road there. I picked up these cutting mats, 6 of them. I'm dressed kind of snazzy, am I? Yeah, righto. I just got home from work. Next Tuesday night, so a week from today, the venue that I quizzed at this evening will be holding a Marvel-based quiz. So I'll be dressed slightly differently. Excuse me while I snack. No, Tim Tam's made it. It's off pay week. I only spoil myself with Tim Tams when there is money in the bank. And there isn't. So I'm not. And unfortunately, towards the end of the month is when I know all my payments come out. So it gets even tighter money-wise. But you know, that's that whole adulting thing, isn't it? I see we're not going to be graced with any streams from Ted for the week because he's doing the whole Dragon Con thing. And I have 4 weeks until my flight to Sydney to represent WA in the National Championships with the Nordic Carved Armour. And we find out who is going over there to C2E2 to represent Australia. So that'll be exciting. And I had the opportunity to co-host a panel on Saturday with Major Sam Cosplay, who was the national winner, the international winner, the grand winner, 2 years ago. and she was an Australian representative. So she won at C2E2 2 years ago. Oh, I want to go as well. And found out that she will not be competing this year, which was a rumour that had a lot of people supposedly drop out. Unfortunately, her full-time job has stopped her from being able to have her costume ready to a level that she's happy with. But we will catch up again there. So she said she'll say hi, which is good. Been watching your build with interest there, Going Ape. It's looking fucking mighty hot. No, they were dropping out before they discovered. I only found out this weekend that she couldn't compete. There was a scuttlebutt that people were not competing because they didn't want to go up against her. This was several weeks ago, and I only found out through talking to her on Sunday that she will not be competing because she can't get her costume finished. So they dropped out for no reason. Sewing the bodysuit today. Do you want to put up any progress photos of the armour as it stands at the moment? Because I want to check that booty out. Oops. So yes, I've got a soldier on now that things are back to semi-normal around here, except for the ever-lurking presence of this Sydney competition. Got my tickets and everything organised. We've got an extra night. They didn't want to compete against her. Yeah, exactly. Get better. And I would have loved to have competed against Major Sam. It would have scared me silly, but how do you measure how well you're going? I mean, you obviously, your first competitor is always yourself. Improve upon your last build in your own mind, regardless of what anybody else says, but always, if you feel your next build or your current build is better than your last build, then you're already winning in my book. But yeah, I would have liked to have had the ability to compete against her. I knew I didn't stand a fucking chance though, but hey, you get that. Okay, last update, you took a couple of days off to get your kids ready for their first day of school. Let's take a gander at this here picture of yours. Up comes Instagram. Oh, it's a little video too. That paint job really brings it to life, doesn't it? I'm really loving that, Ape. Most pro competitors in all sports want to go up against the best. Exactly. Yep. I'm with you. I hear you guys. Okay. I like those. That's what I'm going to go with. And I think they'll probably work as a good size to put around the band. Sorry, you're going to get colour blowout there because the contrast between the yellow and the grey is so great. The vid doesn't show the depth of the paint job. And since you've had orange insets to the centre of the chest, centre back, and in the cannons, sweet. Yeah, they look very much the right size for around there as well. So we shall commit to cutting out another 24 of these little beggars and then handling them up. What's that? IQ, I chose that build for the challenge. I didn't know what I was doing when I started, and you're fucking delighted. So you should be. It's a fucking awesome job. Alright, let's put this to the side and cut out another shite load of them. Stick up there, you. Now, did that work? Or was it too close to the edge and it ended up all yucky? No, I think it worked. Oh, for Christ's sake, where the fuck is the background music? Excited for the next thing you will be making for Salt Lake City Fan X, I think. I'm not competing in Salt Lake Comic Con. You like to compete at the home con. You love the folks there. Exactly. Okay, let's take a gander at your pick. Oh my God. Talk about raise the bar. I couldn't tell you their IQ. I don't know. Being in Australia, I'm the last person to know those sorts of things. Two. 3, 4, 'No, don't get back in your box. I'm sure people will know. The Naga is actually simpler for you than your last build, but don't tell people that. Okay, we'll keep it to ourselves. God damn. Come on. So I got got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many did I say I needed? I needed 12 around each, so I need another 18. So I'll do the same thing. I'll cut these puppies out as circles, and then I'll use the box cutter to knock them down. Nordic Forge, hello, hello. Thanks for joining us tonight. I've also got another steel great sword that I have to make for a client here in Perth. So I'll get stuck into that in the next couple of days. There's 8. How's it going? It's going good. Every day above ground is a good day, so they tell me. Did a convention on the weekend that I quite enjoyed. Got asked to be part of a panel. A couple of cosplayers that I look up to, so that was really good. How do I know how it is underground? Well, I know a few miners. Mind you, they're not making too much money when they're above ground, though. You look up to folks. I look up to... Of course I look up to folks. There's a damn sight more talented people out there than I am. Fucking truckloads of them. You can't look up to me. You're north of me. You need to look down on me. That's the way it works. We should get a better edge on that. Wait till she starts firing the bloody things, man. Live rounds. Don't let Furry hear that. As soon as he knows you're working on a bodysuit, he'll be there. There is a trend I have seen in all great makers. They are humble, always stating they are still learning. Here's the kicker. They're happy to share their knowledge. It's the same with us crappy ones as well. Noon, mountain time. I like mountain time. It's like hump day. It's just like, ooh. We're not talking about the same thing, are we? Yep. Speaking of sharing, let me dig this little gem out for you. Did I put it in this folder? I did. Here we go. Here's a little... Mum always told me to share. But I told Mum... Everything I have shared. Oops. I've not told Mum everything I've shared. Approximately 4 hours. Okay. And you'll stream for approximately 3 hours. Sweet. Here's a little picture for you, boys and girls. This was taken on the this weekend at the con. There we go. Across the road from the centre, that's McDonald's in the background. So that's me being all kawaii. She's standing at the other side of the road, the traffic lights, and she held up her camera and she goes, I went, yeah, of course. So I did an open arm pose. I went, oh, hang on a second. And I went the whole, She pissed us off. She comes up to me later and shows me that photo on a camera. She goes, do you mind if I post that up? It's not going to, it won't upset you or anything. I went, you know what my catchphrase is, don't you? It's called cosplay because it's meant to be fun. How can I say that and then tell you not to put that fun image up on the net? You go for it. And then I grabbed it and used it as my cover page for a little while. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Exactly. Bit of fun. That's all. Bit of freaking fun. And of course, we had all the normies, all the muggles wandering around the city as well, not knowing how to take us. Had a mate come up to me in the car park while we're getting ready. He goes, can I walk down to the convention centre with you? I went, yeah, of course. He goes, well, give me a minute to get dressed. He goes, I don't fancy walking through the centre of town without other people. He's dressed as the Punisher. So he's got shoulder holsters on and he's got a rifle. And he goes, at least if I'm dressed with other weirdos, people will probably think I'm just in costume. If I walk through the centre of town with all this weaponry by myself, it might cause a bit of an issue. I went, yeah, good point. One thing you need to get over, you have a bit of a phobia about that. About what bit? About the muggles, the normies. Don't worry about it. There we go, look at that. I was one of those muggles. My perspective changed as I became to respect and admire cosplayers and the wonderful creations. I saw posted up several times since I've been cosplaying that the next time you watch your favourite movie, whether it's a DVD or at the cinema or whatever, watch the credits. And then understand that what you do for your costume is covered by pretty much everybody in those credits in one way or another. The makeup artists, the fabricators, the costumers, the prosthetics, all that sort of stuff you normally do by yourself. You're just as talented as anybody else. You deserve to be there in costume. And most conventions, if you're going to, you will find people trickling in from all sorts of avenues as you do. If you catch public transport in, there'll be 3 or 4 people on that train or in that bus that are already in costume on their way to the con. You won't be flying solo, and the closer you get to your destination, the more those people congregate together getting there. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's really cool. And then when you get there, there's just people in costumes everywhere, and you start looking like the odd person if you're not in costume. You walked a couple of blocks in your Predator from the convention centre. Went to pass a couple of meth heads who were arguing. They saw me, stopped arguing. Manhandled your props a little bit. Oh. You know, I did have some smart-ass kids asking if they could play with my sword. I went, well, no, it's a little difficult to take off my back, mate. Here, you can take a look at the axe. No, 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 we want to play with the sword. Well, sorry, guys, you're going to be a little out of luck. Sword's not coming off. Not in public. Not in the middle of town. Ain't happening. Because despite the fact you're in costume, you still have to be mindful that you're in a public area. Lecapron Rogue. Lecapron Rogue? I'm not even going to try. I'm going to plead Ted. I'm great with phone, but bad with names. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. The local news covers the con pretty heavily, so seeing folks moving about the city in costume isn't that odd. There you go. Cool. You did go to an in and out in your full orc green makeup. Hey, well, that photo of me, I went to Macca's. Luckily for us, Macca's is literally across the road from that particular hall that we had the convention centre in. So everybody just walked across the road for, you know, cool drinks or burgers or whatever. I pleaded Ted. Exactly. I'm going to take a Ted there. That feels a little sharper. Some of the younger women in their boob-enhancing costumes have reported being harassed on our public transport though. Yeah, the closer you actually get to the convention centre, the more that the people are aware that cosplay is not consent. But public transport and normies and stuff, there's still going to be normal, stupid, brain-dead oglers. Would it be worth putting that on foam and tapping the pipe with a mallet? Yeah, for the harder stuff, but at 10 o'clock at night with half the house asleep? No. No. And no. Can you see that one? That is the result of doing exactly that, using this one for the studs that are on the McLeod shield. You can see how it's all billowed over from hammering it with the mallet. So yeah, I have done it, but during the day, outside, when it's quiet, or when I don't have to be quiet, I should say. And this works, just see, waste not and you shall want not. In the bin. 8 to go. I've been pressured into going to a cosplay prom in a fortnight or so for cosplay singles. And just hope I don't turn out like the token old lech. All these young, vibrant cosplayers there, and then there'll be me, this dirty old seedy guy in the army greatcoat in the back corner. Psst, kid, you want to buy a watch? A friend of yours did a cosplay prom not long ago. Let me find their prom photo. It's hilarious. Please do share the love. I'm thinking I might go as Dragur, which means I can also prep my Halloween scary shit. Blip, blip. Although I don't think I have a Halloween function this year. There's an Indian celebration around the same time. I think we're doing that at the school this year. Cultural diversity and all those things. Okay, 2 left to go. That's starting to get blunt again. Doesn't take long. So I see Crims is there. How are you going with all the floods over there, mate? Because you're in Texas and that's all like wet and scary over your way, isn't it? You're too far north, so you're away from it? Good, good. And of course, Dark is away on holidays, so he'd be probably worrying what the hell's happening with his home. Dark is in the flooded area. Fucking great. Oh, he's at work. I thought he was away on holes. Obviously, that I've been away from the stream too damn long. Oh, sorry, Nolan. I didn't mean to ignore you. I didn't figure that you were there. I didn't realise you were in Texas, I meant. Okay, let's another 24 of those little puppies cut. So now I'll shape them down a bit and use them to go around the bands for the horns. Now this is pissing me off because I'm not finding the photo. Well, You need to learn how to catalogue your shit, girl. Okay? Mm-hmm. Indeed, IQ, that's kind of what I got from that. I mean, Alan, or as I like to put it, 30 minutes away from TNT Cosplay. Fuck if I know. When you're 30 minutes away from TNT Cosplay, it doesn't matter where anything else is. You got all that lovely foam right there at your fingertips. Trust you, the photo was funny. Yeah, we'll take your word for it, because why would you lie to us? Look out, Crims is putting up photos. TNT Cosplay Supply. Fuck you. Here, look. Have a like, bastard. Nah. Yeah, you built up our hope, now going, eh? One. Yep, raised and crushed. She does that. Hey guys, look at this. Oh, I can't find it, sorry. That'll fix him. She did it on purpose. Malicious sense of delight she gets out of getting us all anticipatory and then squashing us. Why dost thou hate us? Does mother know thou wearest her drapists? Also got to start, not start, but I've got to return to doing some work on the Daedric as well. It's a big job. I want it done really well, and I haven't touched it since doing the base of the helmet. So I need to kick on to that a bit. So I can keep my own cosplaying going while I'm doing all these commissions for everybody else. But I've got to do the commissions because it's helping pay the rent. Swings and roundabouts. And I heard on the weekend that one of the cosplayers that I look up to, he is putting me forward to somebody who sponsors her as she's moving state, in hopes that they will in turn sponsor me, so that they have continued representation here in WA. You enjoy your mortgage? Keeps you motivated, I find. I don't have a mortgage, I rent, but I pay my parents' mortgage for them, so I need a little bit of income to cover both of those minor expenses, as one would expect. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just have those yellow bands around the horns on the side of that helmet. They're pinned in place at the moment. So I gotta... You gotta do some work. Work? Come on, Nordic. Really? Work? No worries, mate. We'll catch you later too. Take care of yourself. As much fun as you can do at the work thing. I think I'm actually down one. Oh no, there's 5 there. That's right. So this last one will give me a full set for one side. And I'm under pressure from the local cosplay community to fulfill my promise to make a World of Warcraft costume. Thought work was a naughty word here. Well, yeah, kinda. I know, doing work while I'm at work. Absolutely ludicrous. "21 square feet? That's nothing." Okay. Now, you're going to get blowout from that yellow. You won't see these as clearly as me, but I'm about to pin those around the band so I can see how well they all work. Later, Nordic. Take care of yourself, brother. Rory's head just sitting there on the edge of my desk. You have stuff stored in your garage. Speaking of bills, you should pay some today. Well, you know, only if you want to keep lights on and shit like that, but it's not essential, is it? It is the end of the month. Indeed, I am blatantly aware of that. My parents' mortgage actually falls on the 2nd of each month, so I'm aware when I get to the end of the month that I need to have funds there to cover that wee little expense. Nope. Yep. Okay. Okay, that's how close getting 12 studs around the horn is going to be. It's the end of the month as we know it. It's close. I think it's actually the end of the world as we know it. But hey, end of the month, end of the world. School started, hubby's back at work, got the house to yourself, get out the power tools. That bit rate's going all over the bloody place. God dang it. Yep, I don't think they look quite right. Where's that reference image? Yeah, I think I got too many. The music teacher quit on the first day of school in a huff. He also quit the last day of school last year in a huff. What the fuck? He was rehired over the summer. A gay guy married to a woman for appearances. Ah, I'll see. If they'd let him marry a gay guy for love instead of for appearances, he'd probably be much happier. Okay, I'm going to back that off to 9 around there instead of 12 and see what happens. Because just comparing it to the reference image, there seems to be way too many that are too close. See, in Australia, we still don't have marriage equality, and it's a major issue here, so much so that we've just had a plebiscite. Well, we're about to have a plebiscite on it, which is bullshit. The politicians should just fucking man up and say yes. We believe in marriage equality. Everybody has the right to be as miserable as everybody else. Sometimes, ape, that's all it takes. To be openly laid. God, I hope there's no kids watching tonight. That didn't quite work out the way I expected it to work out there. They look to be in about the 3 quadrants. Let's try that then. Ape is just naughty. It didn't take you long to work that out, did it? We have marriage equality, finally, but conservative parts of the US, like the part where I'm from, still pressure the gays to get married to opposite sex couples so they can be right in their version of God. Yeah, screw that. I'm 100% in support of marriage equality, to the point that it causes major arguments with my once you got 2 kids. Don't pull that once on me, girl. Oh yeah, it causes major arguments with my father and I. He's very he's so conservative, he's anal retentive, let's put it that way. I love him dearly, but that doesn't mean I had to adhere to his 3. Well then. You guys, yeah, I actually recall we were talking about this previously in your stream. I think you mentioned your sister. She moved to Amsterdam. She loves being able to just live in the open with her wife, like everybody else. Fucking primitive bullshit mentality that we're forced to live with here in Australia. Now, the problem is, we have a postal vote, a postal plebiscite. Every registered adult in Australia will be getting a letter in the mail asking them to vote on marriage equality. Now, you think that would end it? Majority rules. No. The plebiscite, or this postal vote, will simply tell our politicians what our opinions are as a public. It is not an obligation on the politicians to enforce the results of the postal vote. They have the ability to vote whichever way they personally feel they want to, regardless of what the majority of Australians, $122 million worth of mail going out and back again, does not have a definitive result. All it is we're giving you our opinion, politicians, but, you know, it's up to you to do what you want with them. You piss off. It should be the majority of these guys have said yes to marriage equality, make it happen, or no to marriage equality, don't make it happen. Not the majority have said this, but politicians, you do what you want. And they get their asses kicked out the very next election if they do that crap. We don't find out until it's something like the 15th of September what the results of the postal vote are going to be. We had until just recently to actually make sure that we were on the electoral roll. And that closed on the 24th. And then now that that's done, they will start sending out the letters to everybody to do their postal vote one way or the other. So if they vote how they feel, is there a check and balance system where the question is worked out through the courts? I really don't know, mate. Mind you, stupid bloody politicians here in Western Australia, we've had 3 referendums to work out whether we want daylight savings. All 3 times the population has said no to daylight savings, and all 3 times the politicians are going, you know what, we're going to do it this year just so you can see what it's like. Well, we knew what it was like last year and the year before when you forced it upon us and asked us, and we said no. I think they've forgotten they're supposed to be public servants. They are supposed to do what the public tells them. So, like I said, if the majority of this postal vote says yes, and they decide amongst themselves that they're going to say no, God help in the next bloody election. I hate this whole 2-party system bullshit. where it doesn't matter who you vote for, it ends up going to one of the two major parties in the end. What if there's a much better option out there? I don't know what the solution is. I'm just banging on. Politics actually bores me shitless because it doesn't matter what we do on the street as a person. They hardly have any fucking impact upon the politics and the policies of our countries. To the point that we get so frustrated that we tend to vote for extremists. That's not much better than voting for conservatives. I don't know. I think I'll just sit here in my little hidey hole and make foam armour. I was going to say, I didn't cut enough, but I had 3 reserved, didn't I, from the other side? Now that I've narrowed it down to 9 around the horns instead of 12, I think the spacing looks much better. You got to that point? Hidey hole, armour. Yep, like the survivalists. Outlast a nuclear winter in here with my Skyrim armour. I get some really good advice from Cosplayer on the weekend. I should be tagging every piece of armour I build on my social media with the franchise that it comes from. So like these, I should be tagging Skyrim, and I should be tagging Bethesda as the Skyrim company, so that some of this stuff gets seen by them and gets seen in their respective franchise or fandom, which is kind of what happened with the Kratos sword, the axe. It's not hard to live politicised when your husband is paid by the government to teach schools at the mercy of politicians. Yeah. And that's unfortunately also part of the problem with politics. Have you guys seen that television show Yes Minister? The politicians themselves could have the best intentions when they get in there, but the art of compromise and the public servants that don't change from posting to posting tend to flavour it badly as well. There should be balance. There should be. Bronze is back. Look who's back. Shade is back. Bronze and that pretty little star in front of his name. Woohoo! So yes, there we go. I've dropped those studs down to 9 around the horn instead of 12, and I think that spacing looks far more aesthetically pleasing. Sorry about the blowout. Yeah. What do I have to do now? I have to sacrifice a virgin and drench the helmet in the blood of said virgin. I have to fast for 40 days and chant non-stop for 35 of those days, and spin on one foot for the other 5. No? None of that? Okay. I need to texture the helmet. So with the stone bit on the Dremel, I'm going to give it the entire... You're not dying today. Oh, good. I got to cover it in the texture from doink, 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 screen, doink. So that hammered texture all over, which I'm going to do with the round stone Dremel bit, the bit that looks a bit like a chopper chop. Okay, so that'll texture that all over. It'll also soften the high sharp peaks that I've got on the helmet. And you can see that the horns are layered. I need also to put that texture along the horns, which is one of the reasons why when I made the horns, instead of doing long thin strips from the base out to the tip, I did it in bands so that lines on the joins could be camouflaged by that texturing upon along the horn. Okay, let me change that back so I can see what you guys are saying. Ding! Where does the drop bear fit in? Who do you think leads the chanting? I went around all these edges with the stone bit on the Dremel and softened them right up. And I also took the very sharp tips off the horns and rounded them, and I think it looks more natural, more like an animal horn now. So it's come along nicely. So the texture will get put on with the Dremel, and then I will heat seal it with the heat gun, and that will close up the pores, but it'll also open up any of the seams. And then I can go around with my my gap sealant and fill those in and smooth that out. If I put the gap sealant on first, hitting it with the heat gun will make them bubble and all that sort of stuff. So it's a progress that I've learnt needs to be done in a particular order to get you results without damaging prior results. So let's, I think, glue down all these studs. That might be the way to do it next. At least the front rows. Do I want to actually cut the horns off to do the texturing? I don't want to. And I don't think I will. Toying with the idea of laminating them with 2mm foam in bands that overlap to give it that tiered look, softening the edges with the stone bit on the Dremel. Could make it a bit easier, but then so I specifically want these to stay like bands, so I don't want to fill the edges in and smooth them into the helmet. I want it to look like a band of metal clamping it on. So if I was to cut the horn off, well, yeah, there is reattaching. What I'm thinking is I cut the horn off at the halfway mark underneath the band all the way around, glue the band to the horn so that it slides back onto the helmet, and the band will cover up the slot. But do I really need to? It might be more convenient, but it may not. I think no. I think I'm going to try on one horn doing a lamination of 2mm foam and see what happens. Stretch and grow. That was unexpected. I didn't expect to be anywhere near that high. No worries, Bronze. We'll see you then, mate. Four. 5. 6. Just enough glue on the stick to do that without doing a refresh. Don't enjoy yourself too much. But it's called cosplay because it's meant to be fun. That's the whole idea. I'm supposed to be enjoying myself, aren't I? Okay, so this is the recommended change up for what I'm using as my sealant. Now normally I use a acrylic sealant. This is a silicone sealant, which apparently doesn't shrink. Maximum flexibility, wet area sealant, indoor-outdoor use, mold resistant. Clean up with mineral turpentine, neutral cure, non-corrosive. I don't know if this is the right one. There's a sandable one. I'm not sure if that's the sandable one. I'll need to look that up. Damn it. I may have leapt too soon. Okay. One. Two. Three. 4. 5. I'm kind of committed now. 6. Okay. MONARCH mini silicone. 150 gram mini white silicon. Right. What I'm looking for is confirmation that this shit is the sandable version. Product detail. Oh. Oh. Okay, this isn't the one. Look at this. Silicon white. This is definitely what I have in my hand. That image is exactly the same. Indoor, yes. Paintable, no. Sandable, no. Fire truck. That ain't the right one. Well, that's less than joyous at the moment. Aha. Okay. I see what the problem is. I did grab the wrong one of their products. That's the little flyer. They have one here called gap filler instead of silicon. Okay. It's got green labels on it. And the gap sealer is crack resistant, paintable, sandable, and highly flexible. That sounds exactly like the product, doesn't it? Frisbees. So go to the right company. I just grabbed the wrong product off the shelf. Because I'm a nobody. Damn it. Damn it. That lid's not on properly. It is now. I wonder if I can find the receipt and return it for the proper stuff. One, two, three, 5, 6. I think I need to have a look around. I may have bought that for a different reason and actually bought the right stuff. It seems I recall using that little white stuff there to do some work in the bathroom when we first moved into this house. So that may not be the tube I brought for cosplaying. I may have brought the right stuff because I'm pretty certain I did the research to ensure that I could get that flexible, sandable, paintable version. If so, where the hell did I stash that? Good thing is there's not too many places it could be. So that's the 6 of them for around that band. Beautiful. Okay. I do have 2 of them. And that is the right one. Okay, let's... I must have 2 of these guns. I do. Cool. Okay. So this one is a gap filler, which you can see is crack resistant, paintable, sandable, and highly flexible. This is the one I'm going to try for the first time on some foam. This one is the one that I brought ages ago to do the bathroom with. So, yeah. Back on the win train. Right. There's my little Grandy coughing and sputtering. She's not feeling too well at the moment. Like a wood filler, yeah, exactly. The picture they have here, it says for architrades, cornices, skirting boards, window and door frames. Suits all paints, interior gaps, water wash up, paintable within an hour, bonds to damp surfaces but not wet ones, low shrinkage, non-volatile, low odour, excellent adhesion, flexible, skin time in 20 minutes, best to paint after an hour, indoor and outdoor use. It must be painted when used outside. But I do like the crack resistant, paintable, sandable. It's got why does it have a star there? Sandable. Can be sanded when dry. Not to be used as a wall filler for large holes. Define large. So yep, this one's the gap filler. That one's the silicone caulking for in the bathroom. But this is the one that was recommended. The difference is, so gap filler where the other one says silicone. So yeah, I've been using a caulking. Do I have that one floating around? The one that I normally use is a rubber caulking stuff for bathrooms. Define Tyrannus Cosplay. It's like a big hole. The application method is better than the putty type stuff you use. Well, what I do is I use the little caulking gun. squeeze it out onto the tube, and with a damp finger or a damp plastic modelling trowel, smooth it into the recess or the piece I need to fill as best as I can. So yeah, thankfully I did actually make sure that I brought the right one, and that other tube that I thought was this one is just left over from a previous. Oh, that's Beardy! Oi, oi, oi! It's actually Welsh. We stole it. Is she okay?
I'm sure she's fine.
Well, she's making a fair bit of noise in there. Hey, look, it's Redneck MacGyver. Ooh. Was he picking on you, Beardy? Australians stealing? Stealing? Never. Just because our whole fucking country's founded on it. Okay.
Yeah, she was laying across the bed instead of along.
She does that because she's a little dingaling.
Yeah, I'm guessing she was smashing her head on the wall.
Well, I didn't hear that. I just heard her coughing and spluttering and...
Yeah, she's sick.
Yes. And not in the head like a mum.
No, not in the head like a mum.
Isn't every country founded on stealing?
Yes. America.
Oi. I got a lot of American people watching me. You can't just slander America like that.
Yes, I can.
I mean, just because it's not... It's only slander if it's not true, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. See, I'm fine. Oh, look, I've got cereal.
Yes, but do you got milk?
I've got milk.
Got milk, bruh?
No, you haven't even made me want cereal.
Name a country that wasn't taken over, wasn't founded from a hostile takeover.
I found a new show on Netflix to start watching.
New Zealand? Sweden? I don't know.
It's called Atypical. Yeah.
You're meant to be in costume. Why is Redneck supposed to be in costume? Is he at Dragon Con? Helmet looks great. Cheers, bud. It's got horns on it though, man.
Why don't we have big bowls like at your house?
You have to get me out to Dragon Con next year. Okay. Sign a petition.
What's Dragon Con?
Dragon Con is this huge motherfucking convention in the US.
About dragons?
Is it about dragons? She wants to know. Dark and Furry and you will be there.
It's called Dragon Con. It's gotta have dragons.
I saw a great T-shirt. It said, "Single, taken, hanging out for a blonde with 3 dragons."
Yeah, that's old dragons.
It's not old.
There's also one that says I'm waiting for a bastard with a direwolf.
You're waiting for a bastard with a direwolf.
Except he's not a bastard.
It was founded on a dragon theme. There we go. Crim says, "Hello, shop high elf." Or was it high shop elf? You can't remember because it's been so long.
I don't even know.
Are you eating?
Yeah.
It's 11:30 at night. She's eating after going to the gym. But not getting into said gym because her key doesn't work. Each year there's a huge elaborate paper cut dragon in the lobby. Oh, sweet.
Dragon probably sounds dragon awesome.
Dragon awesome.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, no worries. We'll just pack up our shit and head to the USA.
Why the fuck not?
USA.
Good point.
Trumpsville, Indiana. You know,
It's okay, maybe he'll die in the floods.
maybe she'll die in a fire.
No, in the floods, he announced today on the news that he was going to Texas.
Yeah, you know why?
Yeah, 'cause
You know
it's
why he
floods.
announced? No. Because it's been 5 days and Obama is already there walking the streets. It's like, oh shit, can't let the ex-pres be there and me not be
Obama
there.
should have stayed in power. They're stupid laws.
Well, I don't know.
Obama was the best president.
Okay, let's slap some glue on this thing. La, 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 la. Besides, you're half an hour late. We already did our politicky thing and then decided it wasn't worthy of conversation in my stream, so we moved on.
You realise I'm on the phone and I didn't hear a word of what you just said.
You realise that I'm on the stream and I really don't care about a word that you just said? Is that, are we equal? Do we balance? We do? Good, beautiful. We were meant to be father and daughter.
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay, bye. Go chat to your dying sick boyfriend on the phone. Make sure his bloody well poison is not contagious down the telephone to my house. Because I care. I do. I'm all about compassion and shit. Or not. Yeah, I'd love to make it over there, but I can't see me doing that in a hurry, guys. I've got actually a month today, 29th. I fly over, to Sydney to do the big national competition that I won with my Nordic. You can't even say that's why you said next year, dude. I can't even get to the other side of my own country for a major convention where I was asked to speak for DJing, for how I make my main income. I'm going to find it really, really difficult to get to the States at any time at all. Is that the Dragur Death Overlord? Well, in this picture, in this build. Oh. I do like that. I like the textured undersuit there, given him like really drawn out. That's just so fucking pretty, isn't it? That's not one of Bill and Brit's, is it? It looks close, but there's something not Bill and Brit about it. I don't know. Let's see how much a ticket is and have a goal. Unslud Cryosis. Is that the cosplayer? Is it Yons? Okay, where's me little... me tricky... It's what the Dragur yell. Okay. I'm too busy killing them to give them a chance to yell any goddamn thing, man. Your house is cleaner than it was, and you need oatmeal. Yeah. Right. You know what? I think that's just going to be a nuisance at the moment. Good. Now come clean my place. I know, not because you're a woman, because my place needs cleaning. Because where I cosplay, nobody dare touch, and I've been too damn lazy to do it my freaking self. You will come and clean my house? Sweet. I'm not sure how to take that. Oatmeal makes my lower half sing out in joy. I'm just going to stick foam on stuff and pretend I didn't even read that. Because I kind of feel that's the safest way. Okay, hang on a sec. Slow down, guys. New logo for Redneck. Redneck MacGyver. Tape, rubber band, staples, safety pin, not safety pin, paper clip. I like it. And then, of course, the ears. Biddy looking inside the hotel at Dragon Con. Yeah, that's the atrium area. That's like far. I thought it was over multiple hotels, Dragon Con. Or is that like San Diego Comic Con is over multiple hotels? And then the Redneck's got himself another picture. Kalua. Yes, I saw that one. Literally, it came up in my stream while I was trying to build the helmet for this weekend. And I quit because at 3 a.m. I didn't have any paddle pop sticks or hot glue. It's now over 16. Jesus, what? Started with one, added each year. So yeah, 16 years, 16 hotels. That's like fucking amazing. But the logistics of seeing everything that you want to see must be just bloody well mind fucking. Okay, I got the program and I want to see this panel and I want to catch this. Whoa, what the hell? Bronze Dragon donated $10. I can't read it. What's it say? Max the screen up before it disappears. No, fun fact that no. Bugger. Thank you very much for that donation, my friend. It shall go to a worthy cause. I'm not sure what worthy cause it will go to, but it will go to a worthy cause. Why do you feel bad, Bronze? Because I couldn't read what you wrote? Write it up again, dude. Tim Tams and Frangelico. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Why do you feel bad? Because it had a good fact. Well, please, put the good fact in chat so I can read it, my friend. All is not lost. Because it had a good fact. If you search 2415439113 in Google, you will see people poking their heads in refrigerators. Okay. Don't ask how you know. You're not one of the people with their head in the refrigerator, are you? Oh, sorry. You said don't ask. What is the story? The head in the freezer photo meme was started in April 2009 by David Horitz. Okay. Now they're all references to that fact. Ah. Cold cup of tea. Now, while that glue is tacking, let's see what Dremel bits I got to play with in my Dremel machine. Holy shit, this bowl of oatmeal is hot. Okay then. Your bowl of oatmeal is hot. The bowl of oatmeal is hot and you stabbed yourself with a pin. Are you eating oatmeal with a pin, you silly girl? Shit, it's all going on at your place, isn't it? You must watch Tim Peaks right now and you're having a hot flash. And here we are, just sitting around playing with foam and stuff. Well, you did say that eating oatmeal made your lower half feel good. Well, IQ, you have no idea what you've been missing. Apparently, going ape is not eating oatmeal with a pin. Playing with foam is what men do. And women. We ain't sexist. Did I say men? I said we. Here we are just playing with foam. Eyelashes in my eyes. Ain't no I could be sexist. I was raised by a single mum. She would slap the tar right off me if I was acting sexist, I think. I will take this oatmeal cooling opportunity to set up my cameras for stream later. Indeed, IQ, what have you come back to? Okay, so the bands are on now. And I still have something irritating me. Oh yes. I was working on a side project. I came up with that. I don't like how I've cut the eyes out, but at the local craft store they saw these hard plastic white masquerade masks. So I drew out a pattern on it that I liked and cut it back with the Dremel to give me a more form-fitting. I don't like what I've done to the eyeballs. Yeah, look down there in the mini camera. Right. But it was a good, easy way to get a form-fitting face mask to start with. I would do the eyeballs differently in next ones. Women play with foam. Don't let anyone tell you we don't. We do. It's just a misconception that we don't. Yeah, only a little bit though. I'll split some bromide in my coffee and that'll take care of that. Big Chicky61 has resubscribed. Woohoo! Thank you very much, Lee. They said it would never last. See, look, your little Pikachu. Pika, Pika, Pika. He's a horny bugger, he is. Right. Two months in a row by Big Chicky. Thank you very much, Lee, my dear. Okay. How are I? I are good. Thank you for asking. Do you feel all powerful wearing the helm? Indeed. I have the power of Odin's son. See, look, I got the little yellow dots. It's like my Star Trek insignia on my helmet. 6 pips. I have no idea what 6 pips means. It's a lot of pips. I'm good. We all seem to be having a good day today. It's been a little while since I streamed, so I packed up all my cares and woes and decided I should get some goddamn streaming done because I got to get these commissions out and pumping. And while I'm under no obligation to stream the commission from the commissioners, it is coming along nicely. It's going to be awesome. It should look like it should look like, no, not like that one, like that when it's done. Whee! What's this side? I don't think they're, I think that's more like a third all the way around. Yep, that looks about right. Y'all ready for Dragon Con? Yeah, don't rub it in. Those two are too close together underneath there. None of us can go. Yeah, yeah. Got a bloody loose eyelash that's pissing me off. Your cats are attempting to eat your oatmeal. Well, hopefully it's too hot for them too, okay? You're not going either. Well, there you go. That's what you get for trying to rub it into that we can't go. Come on, Pan. You're going to drink at home with your oatmeal. Okay, what's this big chickie? I'm working on it. Got one of my costumes done last night. Think I'm going to cheat on the other one and buy binding tape instead of making it. Then I should be able to get it all together by tonight. Oh my god, omnivorous, no, carnivorous oatmeal in that case. Cat, the other white meat. Today on Going Ape Stream, lots of tedious sewing of lines and then the making of a bustle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think maybe I should indicate. Or as were known over here during World War II, roof hares. Yes, we call them roof rabbits. Yep. Well, I'm going to go out for lunch, run around. Okay, fine. Well, you enjoy the sunshine, okay? Grillmaster 76. That's the new summer skins that came out, wasn't it? For Overwatch. You've been trying to make a GIF out of your little cosplay movie for 4 days and it keeps telling me you have an error. It's pissing you off. I'm sorry, Going Apes. I don't know how to do that. I'm sure we could work it out, but I don't know. I caught up with Fourth Icon on the weekend as well, because he's here in Western Australia, in Perth, for at least a year. So he's moved across from the UK. So he made a point of dropping by my house a couple of weeks ago when he first got here. And then, yeah, we wound up at the same convention together. Which is kind of cool. It was good to actually meet face to face one of you lovely members of the Tim Tam fam. One, two. Get off my finger. 3. 4. So as a matter of interest, guys, because it was a topic that came up in private conversation during the convention, do you think somebody who's won a major convention, a competition at a convention, should refrain from competing in that competition again in subsequent years? Do you think that they should be able to compete continuously? Or do you think there should be some sort of a moratorium? They should have to take a year or 2 years away from that particular competition? Because all 3 views were expressed during the conversation that I had on the weekend. I personally feel that if you're working on a costume, you should be allowed to, if you feel like competing, you should be allowed to compete, and you shouldn't stand back and not be allowed to compete simply because you've won previously. Past performance is no indication of our future. Obviously, like Jon says there, with a different cosplay, you took a year off after you won Salt Lake City Comic Con. You think it's about swordsmanship. So there's 2 different opinions there. One, compete continuously. One, out of sportsmanship, step back and let somebody else compete the next year. Yeah. Yeah, but then decide to compete in a different competition. Here in Australia, well, at least my exposure in Western Australia is that if a costume has won at a convention, at a convention, subsequent conventions will not allow you to use that costume in their competitions. You as a cosplayer are more than welcome to enter their competitions, but you must use a different costume. And I think that's fine. If you win X number of times in a row, you should be excluded from the next one. See, there's a slightly different, there's the moratorium view. So like I said, so far, literally in 3 comments, we've had all 3 of those different views presented. Take a year out of sportsmanship, compete continuously with different costumes, and if you win several times, then have to take the next one out. Yeah. Kind of like a handicap system almost. But yeah, my opinion is it's the costume, the competitor making a different costume means they have to start from scratch and bring a new costume to the convention. I thought it was wrong for a person to be forced not to compete simply because they'd won previously. I may be biased and looking forward to competing again next year. I don't know. But as it says across the top of the screen, guys, it's called cosplay because it's meant to be fun. And once we start taking the fun out of it by doing those sorts of things, it can be. That's called sandbagging. I was sandbagged in one competition and it pissed me off. Compete with the same costume upwards if you win at a big con with that costume. That costume is now for exhibition only. Yeah. It's one of the driving forces behind the Nordic. Heaven forbid that we find out that the gods do have a sense of humour and I win in Sydney. And as I've said several times, I fully do not expect to win in Sydney. But if I do win, I will need a totally different, more skillful build to represent Australia in the States. Yeah, if you have a different costume each time, yeah. But I do like going ape there. Sure, if you want to compete with that costume, you have to step up to a much higher level, not the same competition. I hadn't even considered that point of view. Best part, absolutely. I have a healthy sense of ego. I love being corralled as I walk around the con and stopped for photos. Unless I'm on a beeline, dude, I got to get to this panel or whatever. Then please respect the fact that I don't have time. But other than that, being stopped and asked for photos and having kids hug you because they love the costume that you're in. Not that it happens a lot in the Nordic, but yeah. The lady that sandbagged you won at San Diego Comic-Con. Salt Lake City had no rule against it. You asked Salt Lake City to clarify this for the next competition. They did and said they didn't care as long as it didn't win their competition previously. As long as the rule is clarified so you can prove it. Yeah, here in WA, it's pretty much across the board. As far as I know, every convention that I've been to, that I've competed in your application has your costume won previously, has your costume placed or won previously. If so, it can't be used. If you didn't make your costume, if you brought your costume, then you can only enter in the skit, not in any construction orientated, and that's obvious because you didn't construct it. The photos and the compliments are gravy. The building is the fun for you. See, that's a different aspect. I like doing the building, and I'm quite enjoying the commission side of things at the moment, till it pisses me off and gets in the way of me having fun. But I've got a really healthy ego, as in, I got a really big ego, and I like the notoriety. That San Diego lady was really awful in the green room too. I don't understand why people fucking are like that. Jesus Christ. Send her to me. I'll snot her. I'll smack her upside the head with a frying pan or something. Go all Rapunzel on her. You remember seeing an Addams Family skit once? It was glorious. Yeah, see, the guys are... I like, yeah, the camaraderie that can build up when you're waiting in the line backstage. It is really cool. I quite enjoyed waiting backstage for the Nordic competition breaking the ice with the other competitors, and seeing that they were just as nervous and just as freaked out as I was to be there to make it through. Thinking about this, a football team is allowed to compete each year even if they win the league. Teams that do not make it have to up their game. So why is our competition any different than that? Exactly. And for instance, if it's a competition where you go on to an international forum for winning, okay, like the one I'm in. If I win in Sydney, I move on to representing Australia. If you stop your best from competing like that and then going on to represent your country, who are you sending to international competitions? You're not sending your best. We send our best competitors to the Olympics to represent our country. By stopping somebody competing who may or may not be the best, how are you going to find out if we're sending the best to the world? No, you can't compete, you won last year. Well, if you're still the best this year, and by competing you get to represent Australia, or the USA, or Singapore, or the UK, or whatever, then shouldn't we be doing that? If that's, I don't know. I'm just chatting to fill up fucking airtime on the stream, to give you guys content. You know I'm full of piss and wind. Yeah, I think that's a different kind of thing too. There's no moving upwards past that in the Salt Lake City competition. I think this Comic-Con thing that I'm in, and there's a couple of others that have world championships as well. It's a different kind of, like we should be sending the best, but for the vast majority of us in cosplay, we don't compete in competitions like that. We compete in our local conventions, or ones where there is no moving up the line. And this person I was talking to was in that situation, and she got critiqued quite heavily for wanting to compete again after winning last year. I just thought it was sad that she was having negative comments deterring her from competing, and that it was between the 5 or 6 of us that were in that conversation, there were so many differing opinions, much like there is here. There's 14 of us here, and there's quite a few of us, only the verbal ones obviously, that have a slightly different perspective on each of it, which is good, because variety is the spice of life. Otherwise we're all going to be living in grey suits and eating the same food. Best newcomer, best paint job, keep morale and high interest. No, it's not a stupid newbie point at all. And there are I got on Saturday we had best newcomer, so the person who didn't actually win a prize but the judges felt showed the most promise, so 4th place kind of thing. They had 1st, 2nd and 3rd. At some cons they'll then break it into divisions. They'll have best armour, best sewing, those sorts of things. So yeah, like Going Ape says, plenty of competitions actually have different divisions of winning so that your strengths can be shown. Best skit, best seamstress, best finish, all those sorts of things. So that's not an uncommon point of view. So it's not a silly newbie thing. It's actually quite an astute observation that's been put into practice. So far from being a silly newbie question, it's pretty cluey of you. Evil Tez just sent out an email. Why are people getting their panties in a bunch over it? Well, because they thought that this person was preventing others from winning because they were entering again after winning previously. I don't think that actually prevents people from winning. Simply because you've won previously is no guarantee that you're going to win again. I think it would also help people raise their game a bit. If you beat the best, then you can well and truly feel proud. I have withdrawn from a DJing competition here in Western Australia because I'm the only competitor. I won 5 years in a row as the best wedding DJ and best wedding MC. But it's a hollow victory because for the past 2 years, there's been nobody else entering the competition. It's not a win. It's a participation award. People can be dramatic, indeed. Helter Skelter, how the devil you doing, my friend? Helter Skelter Cosplay, of course, another West Australian cosplayer I had the opportunity to hang out with on Saturday at the convention. And he did. He's Dr. Doom. Which is fucking awesome. I quite like his Doom. It can do. Yeah, if you're winning against no competition, are you winning? Or are you just getting an award because you're the only representative in the category, which is a little sad. Yes, please share. Or is it next to the photo of the prom? Promises, promises. Okay, so now we got the studs and the bands around the top there. And I got the studs on the front. No! You can't find that one either. I know right where to find. Sure you do. Sure. Oh, okay. She does. Becky's Creative Adventures. Hello, Becky's Creative. Oh, she's got a Cyberman on there, Helter. Okay, let's do that. Let's give Becky's Creative Adventures a like and a follow. She'll wake up tomorrow with 20 new likes and follows and wonder what the hell happened. Wrong link? I just like the page. I hope it's the right link. It is the right person. Okay, cool. Good. I can't watch a vid while I'm streaming. It chews up my bandwidth. But now that I've liked her page, I can go back and look at it. The rest of you, though, do it. Okay, I think it's time to Dremel the lid. Put some texture in it. Let's put these little discs here. In here. Automated wings are a pain. Ah, she has flappy wings, yeah? That's your new friend Becky. And I'm also a Becky, and her Farah kicks ass. Okay, I shall start singing you the Song of My People as a bit of a test run here. That's not working. Yeah?